G'day and welcome back to another video on the Boomer SuperCoach YouTube channel. In today's video, we're talking about Port Adelaide, and I'd said North Melbourne and Melbourne. I think Port Adelaide are probably the most relevant team in terms of just it's purely due to their fixture, um, which we'll talk about right now. And they faced the bottom four sides of last year in the first month. They go North Melbourne, Essendon, West Coast, Richmond. It doesn't really matter if it's home and away. You've got St Kilda round 5 and Hawthorn round 6. Um, And they play 3 Sunday games in a row, so Captain Butters, question mark, or Rosie, or Wild Bourbon. We'll talk about that. Yes, it is simply put, that opening, like, yeah, it's the opening. I talk about each team opening 6 games, but it's that opening floor, really, that is very drawing. And the question might be, if you don't think, like, a question I've considered is, do I have Warren Francis purely for that first month, that first 5 weeks, and then trade them off? Similar things would go through Gold Coast, which was like they open up really well. We'll quickly just have a look at Gold Coast. So they go West Coast, Richmond, I. Do you just go, all right, start like a Truca Miller, someone of that ilk? Because if you're starting anyone like a top liner, you're expecting them to be there. Thinking of top liners, Zach Butters was the highest averaging player with 121. Conor Rosie was 105. Horn Francis only 4.5. Ollie Lyons only 2.8. And Kane Farrell 88. Do you believe Ollie Lyons is out due to suspension though? So keep in mind that he might be an alright pick. No, he will open up a spot for the first 2-3 weeks, I believe, to like a Will Brody and Warren Francis, Butters, Bergman, etc. Um, but yeah, no, not surprising. You have 3 main mids, a half and 2 halfbacks. That's surprising. In terms of rookies to watch, I've got, I've got 2, I think. The first one's Todd Marshall at 140 now, at 148k. And reports are just turning off halfback as a key back. It's hard to look at numbers, and I'm not really fast. But there's a real point. I was about to look at numbers, but there's a real point when he's a forward, when he's a good player. Like, I think if you want to go there, you can. He's one I'm looking at. Potentially sit at like F7, and if he plays well, get him in field. Something we'll look at. And the other one's Will Brady, which we do sort of get numbers here. Because we saw what this man can do. He at Fremantle came in and was 100 when he came in 2022. So that's obviously a while ago, but like this man was so good in 2022. But look at that 122 average. And then he just fell off. And a very good waffle player can go back to the AFL. One, obviously, I'm considering. My issue is he hasn't played pro AFL in 2 years. That's my concern. He hasn't played AFL since 2023. And even then, he played 5 games. Average 71 to his credit. I'm not sure I can go there as an on-field rookie. I think if you want to bench him, you can. and if you can somehow get him in, go for your life. I'm not sure if I have it in me to fill him right away yet. Mm. That's really that though. If we were very like, I mean, if he's taking up those Ryan CBAs, definitely. Then maybe you can. Second off, we'll touch on it. So, Port Adelaide. They're one where it was Butters and Drew that were the main two. One's missed out here, but then there doesn't seem to be a significant bump to anyone, except for Sam Power Pepper. But even then, it wasn't. No. Um, Bergen got a bump in that second game, which we'll talk about. But yeah, Lions and Horn Francis next up after Drew and Butters. Actually, Horn Francis started the year off a bunch of CBAs, but didn't start the year off well with SuperCoach. Missed this period of time where they slotted in Bergman and all of that. It's one where I think, in like, obviously Rosie and all that now when you don't feel. For myself, it's one where I think you expect it to be Butters, Drew, or Francis Bergman at 4. Because I think Carr came out and said, um, oh, Miles. Miles Bergman set for more Simon Andrew is put out a coach, right? Um, very, very good. And that's what you want. And as we can see, he's very good, like, decent CBAs in games. Um, and then, yeah, like, Rose, I expect to be that. Maybe get a couple, but not a whole lot. Expecting him with half back. But yeah, that's really it. The CBA is as such. Like it's Butters, Drew, Horn, Francis, Bergman, will be Wines. Sounds like chickens now. Because chickens obviously very important. It was Kane Farrell, and that was it, really. And he was the main man, and even when Rosie moved back, he didn't take a whole lot. Like, I remember watching this one game, because that was gather round, I think. And because that was the first game he moved to halfback, and I thought this man got like 8 kickings. I looked and he had one. Like, but he was everywhere at halfback. But you can sort of see though that even like post, I think he would have been injured here, injured them by. It was Rosie, and then just looking at it before, it looked like he got a couple more CBAs back in the season when the choked Barry. Um, Sin and Burton are good for roughly one a game when they play, and that's about it. Like Rosie, Sin, and Burton if you want to, but I expect Rosie to get the body share. They should be plays off halfback because that is the role really we want these type of players to be playing in. Just like roaming off halfback, yeah, he's at 105. If he sort of underperforms in the first 5 weeks, you can move him on to the primo, like, and that's someone else, depending on how you want to do it. Which, yeah, Okay. Okay. A lot of this stuff is just like common sense, and but yeah, we'll go to players to watch now. Did you get you got it? Oh, so new look here. Zach Butters. Super Pretty's got M1 potential, and like that's a tag game, by the way. 120. Obviously, slightly less than that. There's a tag game here, 122. There's a tag game here. We actually broke it. Oh, about 122. He has his 94 here against score for 127.5. This man finished on a 191, by the way. Came back, started well, and had a really poor game against Geelong. And I think everyone did that game. But that Port Adelaide seem to always play poorly against Geelong, and it kind of they just sort of like I think he did get attention. He got attention to that first game, not that second game apparently. Like OC Mullen and all that, which I don't appreciate. Anyway, um, yeah, like this is a guy that can go 130, 125. He has that in him. Like we saw it sort of last season, 2023. Like this is a guy that like his points per minute are great too. Like obviously we're looking at premiums of that obviously are. But this man was inside and outside ball. Uses the ball like in all honesty not like there's games here where you get 56%, 50%. But he gets so much of it, he gets so many tackles, like he can draw a free kick too, kick a goal, contest inside, like I said, inside and out, inside 50s, etc. He can score very, very well at a very, very rate. And like I said, yeah, he's an inside mid. Like, you hope these points per minute are like this, etc., etc. He's still got to do it. And yeah, I don't think he would. Like, I actually lived I used to live across the street from a family who were good mates with him and all that. And yeah, like, he's a star. I mean, he's 25 entering his prime. Next one is obviously Connor Rosé, and I think if you don't have Butters or Rosé, you've got to pick one. I'm probably going to have both, as most people would. Um, but this is a guy that like got let loose off halfback. I went 137, then got tagged twice in a row and still managed to go 100 in both of them. Like he does get the tag pretty often, I must say. Um, and he tends not to be the most durable. But this is a guy that 150, like this, like there are so many scores here where he's going like above like 110. And if we just want to highlight only these scores in for a minute, above 110, 127, 127. And I know we're only highlighting games above 110, but he doesn't play that many shit like 4 games. The only reason he does is because, I mean, he scored 100 was getting tagged, but what did he play before the game? Didn't get, only had 22 touches, right? 20 touches, 29 touches, 66% efficiency. Paul got spanked from memory. No one played well against Geelong, and he sort of scored a 91, 53% efficiency. Like, this is a guy that I think could maybe have a bit of a hybrid role. Get like something like this. Um, that's not great. Like that's probably too high CBAs like that, where he's going 25% CBAs, 20% CBAs, and getting kickouts. If he has a role like that, where like that's just too good to I think ignore. When he's getting one in every four, one in every five center bounces, whilst also getting four kickouts a game, he will average 100. He will average 100 if that is the case. That is such a good role, like a high good role. Next guy is Miles Bergman. I was going to talk on Jason Horne-Francis. Had a foot injury in the preseason. One I'm just not a huge fan of because I think if you're picking him, yeah, you can pick him for that first month, first 5 rounds. But where do you go to if he flops? One I'm not that interested in. With Bergman, simply put, someone put it up on SuperCoach scores. He's when he's got CBAs, this guy's like 100 and something. Like we get every CBA game 91, right? There's every single game where we got a CBA. We take away a poor CBA games. 100. We take away this game. That's probably poorish for what we expect. 103 and a half. 109 with decent CBAs. That's all with 30 plus. There's 2 tagged games in here. 2 games where he's a tagger. You can take out this 112 and what? It's 104 and a half. This guy is going to get CBAs. Carr has said it. If we take out that, that's a 114 where he only scored points because he tackled. Like this is a guy that like hold on, he was tagging in that game 198. This guy is not this. So that'd be 114, right? That's a tag. Well, that's a tag game. So I can't see a world where he doesn't go 105, 110. If I'm being honest. I'll do a ranking of like premiums with prices, etc. Probably after a team reveal. In a week or two. So yeah, watch out for that. So like and subscribe so you know when I do that. But yes, this is a guy that I think is on many watch lists, including mine. And I think it's you've got to just watch him, see how he is. If it's a bad call, it's a bad call. But there are so many players in and around this 400 to 500k mark in terms of defenders that I think you'll be fine. Next, and the last 2 guys, Todd Marshall and Will Brody. Like, like I said, I can't really look at the numbers for Todd Marshall, right? Because all these numbers are when he's running forward. Like, but if he's going to average 77 one year as a forward, surely he can average 80, right? That's my logic. I can't really touch on him, like I said, because it's like it's the whole of this year too. Yeah, like I said, I can't really touch on him. Does need to stay fit though. Injuries and all that. And then Will Brody, sort of, if he gets that, if he's similar in the sense that he gets 30% CBAs, and it sputters through 1 and 2, 3 is a mixture, 3 to 5 is a mixture of Horne-Francis, Wyatt, and Bergman. And then you've got 6, Brody, 7, and Rose. I don't think I've missed anyone. That's a good midfield group. Just can he get there? Because like I said, he didn't play AFL 2025 or 2024. It just fell off. So yeah, I think he's a one you've got to one watch for, see what he is doing pre-season. But yeah, like I sort of said, just one that I wouldn't have on field. I don't have on field at the moment. Obviously, my team's not here, but he'd be sitting around. He'd be sitting on he's sitting on my midfield bench though, as we currently speak, even though you guys can't see it in terms of my team yet. But yeah, thank you for watching. Um, we have last little batch to go: Richmond, St Kilda, Sydney, West Coast, the Bulldogs. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys for St Kilda. Is it St Kilda? No, Richmond. See you guys for Richmond in the next one. So stay up.